Welcome back to another video. Today we are in Halloween Cup and we want to be featuring a team consisting of the Palossand and Azumarill with the Toxapex. Here we have a kind of decent lead. We do not want to take too many of these Night Slashes though. We are going to tank one and then we're going to switch out. They revealed that they had the Dragalge in the back. This Dragalge is going to be doing some neutral fast moves. And all of our moves are resisted, but the thing about Toxapex is pretty tanky. Here, basically, we're forcing them to use Outrage. They do go for the Outrage, and it ends up taking us out. So, well played by them. So, it's forcing us to go into our Azumarill. We're going to go and try to farm this down. Now that we know that they have Outrage, they probably have the Aqua Tail. So we're just going to go in with our Play Rough right here. Play Rough doesn't take it out, but we are going to be facing a Sizer here. It ends up being the Iron Head. This Iron Head gets shielded. We're going to go in with our Ice Beam right here. This Ice Beam does get a shield from this Golbat. We are able to get to another Ice Beam, and we are able to get to another shield. So we're going to have to call us a bait, but we ended up actually shielding the Poison Fang right there. Nice play by my opponent on catching our Ice Beam. Takes out the Dragalge, but now we are low enough that this Poison Fang will take out this. And then this Shadow Ball right here is a last ditch effort, and unfortunately it is not enough to KO that team right there. So well played by my opponent right there. GG's. It was all a matter of catching that move, and they were able to catch that move correctly. The lead was kind of a tricky one to deal with, considering we didn't really have a good counter to that Sizer. So we have the Zweilous here. This Zweilous is going to have to be switched into our own Toxapex. They actually do not have a counter to the Toxapex. They have their own Toxapex. So this tells us that this Toxapex is actually pretty decent against their entire team. So we're going to keep that in mind. We let the first Sludge Wave go through. We have our own Sludge Wave coming back in. They have the health advantage, but we are going to have to consider shielding this. We do shield this. We're going to throw a Sludge Wave after farming up a little bit. They actually let it go, and now they come back in with their own Zweilous here. So we're going to throw this Brine here, possibly get a shield. We do get a shield, which is fantastic. And then we're going to come back in with our Azumarill. We don't have to shield anything. This is a hard wall to this Zweilous here, forcing them to switch out into their Drapion. Their Drapion lurking in the back is going to be met with our Palossand here. Palossand is able to tank one crunch. Luckily, we did not get the debuff. We're going to be able to get to a Scorching Sand right here. We're trying our best to get to another Scorching Sand. They are able to get to that move. We're going to shield here for the sole purpose of getting to another Scorching Sand. Take out this Drapion. Perfect. And we're trying to switch out, but we cannot switch out. But we should be okay because this Azumarill is fairly healthy. Plus, we don't have to worry about any big charge moves to take out this Azumarill. And they know that that's the case. So GG's to our opponent. What do they end up running? Zweilous, Toxapex, and then the Drapion. So kind of a double poison in the back, sort of. All right, next game here, we have the Charger Bug. This is exactly where we want to see Charger Bug. Our opponent ends up switching into the Dragalge. We were a little bit late to the switch, so we decided to stay in and try to catch a move. We do catch the Aqua Tail, luckily. And here, now that they revealed that they have Aqua Tail, we're anticipating them running Outrage, but we'll find out. Here, okay, well, now we know that they definitely don't have Gunk Shot. They're just going to go for these Aqua Tail chip damage. At this point, it is in the red, and we're trying our best to farm it down. They realize that we're trying to do that, so they switch out. We go for the Play Rough right here to do some chip damage or get a shield, but our opponent ends up letting it go, and then we actually can come straight back in with our Palossand. We do get the debuff, which is great, and that allows us to farm it down. So Palossand here with some energy, we're going to be able to farm down this Dragalge, and now this is GG's because them trying to catch a move with their Dragalge allows us to farm it down, and we're able to get to multiple Scorching Sands right now. So we get 2 shields out of the way. We're going to try to get to a 3rd Scorching Sand just to do enough chip damage. Looks like that's the case. This Scorching Sand, I don't know, does about 40% damage. And then we're going to allow that to go down, and we have our own Toxapex right here, and they know that it is GG. So well done by us. And Toxapex coming in clutch multiple times right now. The last 2 games, the Toxapex ends up being the common denominator. Either core breaking the opponents or making them kind of figure out what to take it out with. So here we're going to switch into the Toxapex. They actually revealed that they had the Runa Regus. The Runa Regus has Sand Tomb, but potentially could have Shadow Ball as well. So because we're going to allow the first one to go through, we know that we can get to this second brine without any problems. We do get a shield, which is fantastic. That means that we are going to allow this to go through because they potentially could be throwing Sand Tomb, and it's exactly what happened. Luckily, this Toxapex was able to survive, and it is able to get to another brine, which gets 2 shields from our opponent. So this is looking great. 2 shields down. We're going to have to tank a Shadow Ball right there. Our opponent ends up switching into their Whimsicott. This Whimsicott can no Grass Knot, I believe. No, Seed Bomb. We're going to go for this Ice Beam right here to do super effective. And then we're going to try our best to get to another one. We believe we're going to survive 1 Seed Bomb right here. Just because how tanky Azumarill is. And that is the case. We're going to throw this Ice Beam here. And then this should take out this Whimsicott. And we're going to hope Palossand can do damage in the back. So it looks like our opponent here is going to be throwing the move first. We're going to assume it's a cheap move. Ends up being the Sand Tomb. The Sand Tomb right here is going to make it weaker. We go for the Scorching Sand. Go for the extra Scorching Sand right here. This is going to take out Fortress, no problem. And now it's a race to who can get to the next move here. We're actually going to let this go through because we think that it's going to be a Sand Tomb, and it's exactly that. They are able to farm us down. And luckily, we're doing super effective bubbles right there. So we win the game right there just from fast moves. So GG's to our opponent right there. Next game. I want to say that Palossand here is doing a great job pressuring our opponents, either being a core breaker or just the ghost typing a bit, actually coming in clutch. So here's kind of a tricky situation. Jellicent, we don't really have a good counter for, so we're going to go for the Shadow Ball, either get some big damage or get a shield. Our opponent ends up shielding it, so we're going to switch into our Azumarill. This Azumarill should be able to tank 1 Shadow Ball, but we're going to shield the first one here because it's likely going to be the Shadow Ball. Then we're going to throw our own Play Rubs. We're hoping 2 Play Rubs will get it low enough so that we can either farm it down or even just soft lose this. But we should be able to survive this Shadow Ball right here. Yep, easily survived. And then we're going to go for another Play Rub here, making our opponent make a decision. They actually switch out into the Zweilous, and that's going to force us to go into our Toxapex. This Toxapex here is doing neutral fast moves. We're going to have to tank a Dark Pulse right here. This Dark Pulse ends up being Let Go. Here we're going to go for the bait. We do get the shield, which is fantastic. And now we have to shield here, and now it's just a race. Are we able to get to a Sludge Wave here before they get to another Body Slam? Unfortunately, that is not the case. They are able to get to another Body Slam right there, forcing us to go into our Palossand here. This Palossand is going to have to... Oh! I was going to say, it's going to have to watch out for a catch. Unfortunately for us, our move does get caught. And now we're going to see which move they're going to come back in with. We know that they're switch locked, so we're going to go immediately for this Scorching Sand. The Scorching Sand does not take out the Nidoqueen, unfortunately, and this is going to be probably Earth Power, yep. So that is GG's to our opponent. Well done by them, wiggling out of that situation. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.